Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush.
Hello, I'm Brandon Rush, and welcome to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. If this is your first time tuning in, as I said before, I'm actor Brandon Rush, and I've been in 81 TV shows and movies, some of the biggest TV shows and movies out in the last 15 years. And my mom, who was my guest on and co-host on this show, I don't know why I say guest, but she's my co-host on the show, is a retired pharmaceutical specialist. We're excited about the Buckle Up Podcast Universe. We've done 137 episodes since April 9th of 2025, and it's 137 episodes. Sorry, one of my friends is writing me. Let's do this again. Hello, I'm actor Brandon Rush of the Buckle Up Podcast Universe, and this is the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. We are in 100. Today's a mess up. We're going to scratch it from the beginning. Sorry. It happens. Welcome back again. So anyway, what I was saying before is that we have done 137 episodes. We are in 76 countries in 882 cities from around the world. We have people from different backgrounds, doctors, lawyers, teachers, CEOs, medical professionals, veterans, small businesses. If your story might resonate with us, feel free to reach out to me at Brandon Rush with 2 H's on Instagram, or our Buckle Up Podcast handle, which is BUCKLEUPPODCAST. We're about to have Dr. Cathy on here in just a second. I'm actually about to let her over, so I'm going to pause this for right now. And welcome to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mom Rush. You admit all. Cathy should be here any minute.
Hey.
Hey, Dr. Cathy, how are you doing?
Oh, good, and you? It's so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. We're so excited to have you here today. I just want to welcome you to the Buckle Up Podcast with Brandon Rush and
Mama Rush. Good morning.
Hey, Mama Rush. I'm so excited to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, we're excited to meet you as well, Dr. Cathy. Where are you broadcasting from today?
So I'm broadcasting from Johannesburg, South Africa, and we're in the middle of summer. Beautiful hot day here.
Okay, wow, amazing. You are our first guest from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so we're excited to have you. Hey, today is going to be all about you, Dr. Cathy, and your last name is pronounced Davies?
Correct.
And do you go by Catherine or Cathy? What would you like us to call you?
Most people call me Cathy.
Okay, perfect, Dr. Cathy. We will call you that. Well, Dr. Cathy, as I said before, first off, we're in 172. I can't even talk today. We are in 76 countries. We are in 884 cities around the world, and we've done 137 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're doing all right, and we're excited to have your story here. So, Dr. Cathy, today it's all about you. What inspired you to pursue medicine, and when did you realize longevity and science would become your focus?
So I always loved kids, but I was actually so involved with my horses when I was at school and horse riding. And it was almost a sudden decision when it came to the end of school and I had to decide what I needed to do. And remember, this was 1998. So, no, 1992. So things weren't as structured then. And then I did my first year of medicine and I absolutely realized it was my passion.
Okay.
And I've never looked back. So that was really great.
Okay. Question for you, and I didn't interrupt you, did you? Did I?
No.
Wait, so if you don't mind going back for 1 second, you said, so you went to university, is that correct?
Yeah.
And you rode horses, like equestrian?
Yeah, so when I was growing up as a kid, that's what I thought I was gonna do. So I never gave much thought to any other career.
Okay.
And then sort of reality set in, and my dad said, I think you should study something. And I was lucky to get in, and I was lucky to just absolutely love what I studied.
Absolutely. How did you manage to do both those? 'Cause I imagine that's pretty busy, like being equestrian and studying. I guess it would be med school type.
Med school, yeah, no, eventually I gave up at the end of med school. I managed both throughout. And
Okay.
here our system's a little bit different. So I actually started med school at 17.
Wow.
Yeah, and was out by 23. So yeah, It's pretty early on, but luckily I really just absolutely loved it, and I think that's what got me through.
Okay. And would you mind kind of taking us into the journey of so between 17 and 23, you're going through med school, and then how does it work from there? What's the process since it is different from the States?
So then what we do here is we work 2 years for the government,
Okay.
which are actually really fun years. You're very poorly paid, but you work at various hospitals. And that's where my eyes were really opened because South Africa has the system where we're about 60 million people
Okay.
and 7 million have the access to the best, most amazing healthcare, and the rest is pretty disastrous. So you end up in these state hospitals with really ill patients. So it's really sad, but on the other hand, you also get amazing experience as a doctor in
Okay.
South Africa.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. All right. And then how did you end up going about doing, I guess, your specialty? What exactly is your specialty?
So I did general medicine, like family medicine,
Okay.
and I had 3 kids. So then I decided hair transplants and aesthetic medicine would be the thing to do. But
Okay.
my passion has always been the burns patients. So even with the hair transplants and the aesthetics, we always try to help on the side, like the burns and scars patients.
Hmm.
And I was actually burnt as a kid, so I
Oh,
think that
wow.
maybe resonated with me. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask you how what made you get into being burned as a kid. And I guess you probably, how did guess the burn happen for you back then, or what was the cause of the burn?
So I was an angel in a nativity play, and
Okay.
my beautiful cardboard wings, the person behind me was holding a candle, which
Mm.
happened to be my cousin, which made it
Okay.
even worse. And
Yeah.
my candles lit up on fire, and I was wearing some cheap, so my whole back got burnt.
Holy smokes.
And I spent 3 months in hospital on my stomach. And I
Mm.
actually don't remember too much pain from that time.
Hmm.
But I think obviously deep down, those emotions stayed with me, and I really empathize with these, mainly the kids who had these injuries.
Oh,
Absolutely. I
oh,
think that's amazing what you've done. I think from the problem that you had, actually not problem, what happened to you as a kid for that to inspire you in your medical profession, I think that's actually really admirable what you've done there.
yeah. I tell you, I was in a motorcycle accident. Well, really, I got burned on a motorcycle when I was, well, Brandon, you were born at the time, and I went to the burn unit, and that was a terrible experience to have to go through that process. And, but I'm fine now. So, through that, you just learn and you can identify when you hear about someone having been burned in something so your whole back, and when they told me they might have to do a skin graft, I got so fearful behind it. So if you can't remember a lot of what happened with you, but you know it happened, that's probably a good thing. But
Yeah.
with that said, what exactly? And I've looked at I was looking at your background, and you hold an MBA and a master's in longevity science. How do business and biology intersect in your daily practice?
Oh, thanks for asking that question because that longevity degree is recent.
Oh,
Actually,
congratulations.
thank you. I
Uh-huh,
graduated a week ago.
Oh, wow.
So, and when you say longevity, I think people immediately think of living to 120. And
uh-huh,
when my dad was alive, he was like, I don't want to live older than 100. So
uh-huh,
the message I always want to get across is it's not about living longer.
uh-huh,
It's about being present and being capable for longer.
uh-huh,
So for me, that's what I loved about the longevity science is just keeping people capable for as long as possible. Like, do you want to be that grandmother wheeled onto the airplane in a wheelchair, or do you want to carry your bag and put it in the overhead compartment,
oh,
and
uh-huh,
live a good life? So for me, it's about capability medicine. So I just love that idea.
uh-huh,
Um, and the business side, I just find as doctors, we have no clue. So we start our practice and don't really know how to run it. So
uh-huh.
that's where the MBA came from.
Oh,
Okay.
that's great because I know that a lot of doctors have to report to businessmen and these fast moving settings now, and these companies that own, and I say they own doctors, and these guys
Yeah.
have MBAs, and you all have all these specialty degrees. And so this is good that you went on so you can understand that. Brandon, go ahead and ask what you were about to ask. I'm sorry, I just wanted to
Dr.
interject
Cathy, you
that.
said that you have your own business, excuse me, a clinic. Is that correct?
Yes,
Oh my
yes, we
gosh, what
do.
made you decide to venture out and open up your own clinic? And what's it about?
So, I actually always had a family medicine practice, and then I had kids. I've got three kids, and when they were young, I didn't want to do the nights and emergencies and weekends. So I
Uh-huh,
studied this hair transplants. I found a place in Greece that teaches, trains how to do hair transplants. I
uh-huh.
just have to pause. I think you can tell I'm quite ADHD with all the different things I do. But
What's
anyway,
the name?
so
It's all great.
yeah. So my husband said to me, "Oh, what now?" So I said, "I'm going to learn to do hair transplants." And then I didn't realize what a huge need there was. So I came back with my little course, and within about 3 months, I'd closed my practice. I was actually only doing that. It was so busy. And thank God that's been the last 20 years, a really
Okay.
busy practice that I've been working in.
Okay. It's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's for some reason all over social media, hair transplants are huge right now amongst men, especially. I don't know how it is on the women's side, but men, I'm seeing on the men's side of things, like everywhere.
Yeah, so you and Mama Rush have beautiful hair, so you won't understand. But when people start to lose their hair, it does affect them. And the transplants actually are mainly for men.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with women, um, it's hard. The surgery doesn't work as well because we don't have that thick hair at
Yeah.
the back that men
Oh,
always
really?
have. So with women, we do blood tests and sort of find out why they're losing their hair. It's a bit of a different approach.
Hmm. Okay. And here's another random question. Is there anything to explain why people's hair goes grayer sometimes? Is stress really a factor in people's hair going gray, or is there anything you know about that?
Genetics.
Absolutely. That thing where they said, I think it was one, my history is not great, but Marie Antoinette turned gray overnight. It's
Hmm.
it's actually true. You can go gray overnight from extreme stress, and other things. Stress definitely causes graying, aging, obviously, but other
Mhm.
things like low vitamin D, your low vitamin B. So if you find people are going gray in their like earlier ages,
Mhm.
then it can definitely be a nutritional deficiency.
Oh, really? Wow. Because I have like two of my best friends. I hate to say it now. I love them to death. I'm starting to get some gray around my like goatee and things, but they like started going gray like 7 years ago, and I'm still pretty young. And I mean, you're only as old as you feel, but
Yeah.
they started really early. And so I was just trying to maybe even for them wondering like I couldn't figure out why. I know they were under a lot of stress too. It must have been for them to grade that early as well.
Stress
But
and
with
genetics. Sorry, Mama.
yeah, but Dr. Cathy, with that said about the gray, I've seen some people pluck out the little gray strands in their hair, thinking that it will disappear. And if they pluck that, will more grow in that space, or what happens there?
I think that's a bit of a housewife's tale, but but I must say I have asked my kids to check sometimes just what's going on at the back and pull out a few. But apparently the reason it's not so good to pluck your hair is everything goes out of sync with the rhythm of your hair. But I
Oh,
think we all do it.
All right, that makes me feel better. I don't know if mom was talking about me specifically, but
I didn't say any names, Brandon. I didn't call any
okay.
names.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kathy. You make me feel a lot better now. What exactly is regenerative medicine, and how is it changing the future of aesthetics?
So when you think of aesthetics, so I'm talking about Botox and fillers and those type of things. Um, I think the picture that comes to mind is sometimes quite unnatural.
Yeah.
The big lips and the alien face and the frozen face. So if it's done properly and nicely, it can look really good. But the whole thing about regenerative medicine is actually to try regenerate your cells.
Mhm.
So we're getting them to behave more like younger cells rather
Mhm.
than just filling up lines and taking away wrinkles.
Mhm.
Um, and there are various ways of doing this. I'm sure you've heard of the vampire facial, which is actually a
That's
paste,
a.
the blood
ex-
one. Yeah.
Yeah, will you explain it for our audience too, if you don't mind? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was actually made famous by Kim Kardashian, but it's a very valid and great treatment where we take your blood, we spin it, and then what the centrifuge or the spinning does is it gives us the plasma, which is the healing part of your blood. And then we put that back into your face, either little injections or some microneedling.
Mm-hmm.
And the healing, it tells your cells to heal and act young. So you get a nice glow. It can help your hair. We use a substance called PRF to do that.
Okay. Amazing. Well, thank you for explaining that to me.
But before you go past that, I wanted to hear a little bit more. So is
Okay.
that going to be a replacement for Botox? Or how does that work when you're talking about using your own blood platelets?
So I think that there are two types of patients I see. One that just want to throw everything at it, and they want the
Mm-hmm.
regeneration, but they'll still do the Botox, still do the fillers. And the
Mm-hmm.
others who are very holistic and they want to stay natural. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want a toxin in their body necessarily, and they don't want to look unnatural. And I find there's that group is growing, and they love these all natural treatments that are
Yeah.
actually very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But actually it's your own body healing itself, which is fascinating.
Oh,
Okay.
I think your skin is so beautiful.
Yeah, it
I'm
is
just
nice.
looking at your
Oh,
face, right? I'm just looking at
thank
your
you.
face. Do you
Thank
feel
you. It's
your
all
own
from a
face?
box.
Look at it. Oh, well, anyway,
Thank you.
go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
So, Dr. Cathy, I think I read in there that you also work with scars. Is that correct? Like scars? So I might as well
Yes.
do it because I have a scar right here. What is the best? It's recent. It's like 6 weeks ago. I cut my
Okay.
what is the best kind
Ah,
of cream or something to put on a scar, I guess? And does cocoa butter actually, I'm not sure if you use cocoa butters or not, but does cocoa butter actually make your skin go browner? I don't know if that's true or not.
I think, okay, so cocoa, just quickly address the skin go brown. I think just because you tan more easily with it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why. But the best thing at this stage for your scar is to get a silicone gel. So they
Okay.
sell them at all your amazing pharmacies in the US that I always spend so much time when I go.
Mhm.
And it's a little silicone gel that it coats it. There's one for the daytime that's got a little bit of sunblock in it, and it protects it, and underneath it just heals.
Okay.
And because it's only been 6 weeks, I think you'll get really nice healing from that scar.
Okay. You know what's funny? I actually bought that stuff and I haven't been using it, but I'm going to start using it right now.
Yeah, and you feel like you're wasting your time, but you're not. You'll see in a couple of months' time, it'll just shrink down to nothing.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I needed that advice. You're helping out. I think the questions may be mainly for me today. I don't know why. Um, for,
I want to ask a
yeah, go ahead.
question about aging, and I want to ask you, what is the biggest myth people believe about aging?
I think, oh, there's so many. But I think at the moment, the biggest myth is that there's going to be one tablet to just reverse it all. And we're all looking for the magic bullet. But what's going to help us the most is what I think it's DWMTY, and it's do what your mama told you. So
Okay.
unfortunately, it's the hard stuff. It's eat well, get your sleep, don't smoke.
Yeah.
It really it does make a big difference. And other things that have been studied that are really important scientifically are things like what you guys are spending so much time doing is having a sense of community, bringing people together, not having loneliness. So, yes, there are all these amazing scientific discoveries that we're waiting for, but it's
Mhm.
almost back to basics
Mhm.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Um, sorry, Mom. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, I like what she's saying, but in fact, I love that because I'm just looking at people now getting all kind of here in the States. I see a lot of people getting sick. I don't know if it's the food they're eating, the lifestyles they have, and and dying early. And it's a concern. It really is a concern as to what's causing a lot of the diseases that we're seeing more so in this country. And so I'm glad you're talking about do what your mama told you, because my mother used to have us up early in the morning as a little girl before going to school. There was a guy here in the States called Jack LaLanne, and I would be up early in the morning. I probably would have been about 6 or 7, exercising with my mama, and she would be up
Mm.
exercising early. We always would eat fruits as desserts. I don't like desserts that much anyway, but eating fruit, I don't like desserts that much. I like them a little bit now, but I don't eat them as much. But she had us eating, our parents had us eating fish. And we ate a lot of vegetables. We planted our own vegetables. And I think it's just the way we're doing now in the States. And do you find that that all makes a difference and contributes to your health and the way you look moving forward in this life and the way your body conforms or transforms during this period?
Absolutely, it makes all the difference.
Mhm.
Really, that lifestyle. And Brandon, are you up early exercising with your mama?
No, ma'am, I am not. To be
And
honest,
mama's not up exercising.
I do exercise. It's changed over the years as I've gotten
Yeah.
a little older. I used to go early in the morning. I used to be like, I used to go early in the morning, but now I go like early afternoon. So but if I'm trying to beat the crowd, I'll go early.
But he
Good.
does
That's
work
good.
out. I must give him credit. He does work out. I mean, he has it's like a routine. And he says, Mom, I have to work out. And he eats really well. So I'm so glad to see that. I need to
Yeah,
just
I
do
can
one.
tell.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
what
Oh yeah, I'm
happens
actually a
is,
lot bigger in person. You better believe
yeah.
it. Uh,
But Brandon, everything is in proportion with you.
yes,
It's
ma'am. I mean,
it's
like,
perfectly, perfect.
thank you, Mom. I
Okay.
was talking athletic wise build.
Okay.
So Dr. Catherine, so you obviously work out too. What's your workout routine like? How do you fit that in? How do you balance? Here's my question: with your working out, how do you balance your lifestyle, nutrition, being a mother of three? Is that correct?
Yeah,
And how
yeah.
do you do all that with work? So, what does your typical day look
So
like? I guess.
I don't balance anything. It's all chaos, but I do my best. I sort of do the 80-20 rule. I try
Okay.
eat well 80% of the time, you
Hmm.
know, but I'll eat out the 20%, have a dessert. Exercise, I've changed my philosophy since what I've studied.
Okay.
Um, I turned 50 last year, and what I've realized is the importance of muscle, especially for women. Most men are quite used to training and gaining muscle, and that is their objective. But
Mhm.
as women, muscle is everything. It's actually should be seen as an organ of your body.
Okay.
Um, and things like grip strength is directly related to how long you live.
Really?
Yeah. So I've tried to include a lot more weights and actually
Okay.
heavy weights. So I'm sure you'll see a lot of women now in the US walking with their weighted vests.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think the whole new trend is just bearing weight and trying to be strong, not necessarily skinny.
Okay. Well, by the way, I'm not going to repeat your age, but you do not look that at all.
No,
So,
Oh,
you don't.
so
I
I'm
would
thank
trying to
say
you.
figure out,
not.
is it something you're eating? What are you guys doing different over there? Because you do not, I would never have guessed that in my lifetime till you said it just now.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, but it's getting a lot harder.
Oh yeah,
Got to be
I guess it
honest.
does sometimes whenever you get get a little bit older. And then you also said that you're doing heavy weights. You know, that's interesting you said that because I mean, you did say the fact that you are a female, and so women doing heavier weights. Because I actually gone that now I did heavy weights my whole entire lifetime. Now I actually do lighter weights just to maintain, really. So it's interesting that you're saying
Yeah.
you're actually doing heavier weights.
So I think with you, you've trained your whole lifetime properly building muscle. So you've got that muscle memory. And
Hmm.
now it's really good because you're protecting your joints and not over, pushing it. You don't want to have injuries. Whereas as you can build muscle at any age. I didn't really realize that. So we've got patients 60, 70 who have become in the best shape of their life, starting to weight train. But it's obviously a lot easier when you've started young and been really good like you have. I used to focus a lot on cardio and um, sort of slimming down.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I didn't really have that muscle memory.
Okay. It's I have this friend of mine, at least he used to be my friend. His name was John. John is, oh my gosh, I think John might be, he's a Jewish man who I love to death. He's one of my best friends at the gym. I think he's 80 something. I think he
Wow.
said 82. And he is able to do curl pull-ups like nobody's business. He works out every single day. And I'm like, he's like, Brandon, you won't believe it. I'm 82 or so, and I'm still out here getting it done. It's impressive.
That's crazy. So with this course, a lot of the people they've studied are people like John, and people who've lived to over 100. So that, and now with AI, they've got, a huge study. So that's where all that do what your mama told you
Hmm.
came from to see what these people were doing differently. Sometimes it's genetic, but you can definitely out-train your genetics. You can out-eat your genetics. You can have great genetics and live on processed food and do worse than someone with poor
Yeah.
genetics.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Absolutely.
have a question. Is it too late to start exercising and building muscle? Would you say it's too late if a person is in their 60s? And what would you recommend?
So it's not at all too late to start exercising. As far as cardio goes, I think walking is the absolute best thing. And just to start with a lovely, this is for someone doing no exercise at all. To
Mhm,
start with a lovely walk after dinner can just add so much benefit with your favorite music, a bit faster when you're at the chorus of your music and then slower in between. And
mhm,
then, but I do suggest if you're starting weight training to train with a trainer. Not forever, just to
uh-huh,
get you into the correct form and way of doing the exercise. But
uh,
it's definitely not too late to start in the 60s. It's a good time to start.
oh, great, great. I
There you
see
go.
that you've taken your expertise to television without
Yeah.
patience. How, well, tell us a little bit about that and how powerful is media in shaping public health education?
So it's what really I really enjoyed doing the show, and I'll tell you how I got into it. But the best thing that came out of it for me
Mm-hmm,
was people who walked up to me and said, "Oh, my kids have started wearing a seatbelt in the car because they saw the episode of the girl who had the accident," or
mm-hmm,
"I've started to wear sunblock because I saw the girl who got melanoma." So I realized the power of very simple messages. So that was the most exciting thing that came out of it. And we did 3 seasons. So the first season, I didn't really know that. So when I did the second and third, I really had that in mind.
mm-hmm,
So a lot of it was more take home messages, which was fun. So what happened was I was doing a hair transplant for this guy, and he said to me, "Oh, I'm part of a studio. Can we film you doing a hair transplant?" So I said, "Yeah, sure, but it's going to be pretty boring to film 40 hair transplants. But I've got a patient who's been attacked by a lion. I've got a patient who sadly was set on fire." I started telling him all these cases, and before we knew it, we'd filmed 40 patients, and they all just agreed. I was
mm-hmm.
so surprised. Everyone wanted to tell their story. Um, and obviously, some of them were lighter and funnier. And, then we had the really tragic, sad stories. And it was shown in Africa and it somehow resonated with Latin America.
Okay.
So it was taken up by Discovery, Health and Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so honored to play alongside Dr. Pimple Popper, who's my
Oh,
absolute
that's so fun.
favorite. I
Yes.
think that was such fun. And it's still showing the 3 seasons in Brazil. So it was just a dream, really.
Oh, I have to see them. I was reading that. Oh, that's so exciting. So I can't wait I didn't have enough time last night, but I will definitely start watching you out there doing your thing on
Yeah.
TikTok. That's
And then will you
Thank
great.
give
you.
the name of the show for the audience where they might be able to
Yeah.
find it if they're out there?
So the show's called Outpatients, and it's on Discovery Health and Home at the moment, Latin America. But if you search Outpatients or Dr. Cathy on YouTube, the episodes come up. And we try to keep things light sometimes, and because some of the stories are really heavy, but
Yeah.
there's always
Mhm.
a positive message. The patients are just so brave.
Mhm.
Actually, it still makes me teary.
Mm.
That's good. And Dr. Kathy, how they go about finding you for this show? I mean, that's pretty incredible.
So
Yeah,
you
so that
can,
was just completely by chance by that guy coming in for a hair transplant. And actually, he was sedated. So I think he was half joking, saying, "Would you film this on TV?" And when he woke up, I said, "Don't forget, you said you're going to put me on TV."
Yeah.
He said, "Did I?" I said, "Yeah, you did." And I've got all these amazing patients. And
oh,
then the thing that the patients all had in common was that they're all outpatients. In other words, they're all patients who aren't in the hospital.
Mhm.
They outpatients come to my clinic, and then that was born.
Okay.
oh,
Amazing. Amazing. Dr. Kathy, I'm not sure if we asked this earlier, but I'll make sure that we did. You've been performing FUE hair transplants for 17 years. What has evolved the most in hair restoration during that time?
So it's become a lot more natural.
Okay.
When you used to mention hair transplants, I think people used to think of this pluggy,
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
hairline. We used to cut a strip out the back, chop it up, and then put these plugs in, um, which was for its time was a groundbreaking thing.
Mhm.
But it's become more and more natural and more acceptable. As you said, you're seeing all these adverts, so people are so much more aware of it. There's no stigma attached to it, and it's not you're not wearing a wig. It's just you're just taking some hair from here and putting it where you need it. And the
Absolutely.
tools we use are a lot more refined. We're making hairlines a lot more natural.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, so the whole thing is really changed and grown.
All
How
right.
long does that process take? And the healing process and the whole procedure. How long is it?
So it can take a couple of hours. It's a long procedure. They're usually sleeping during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a week or two where they look very scabby. They can get quite swollen. They're undercover. They need the downtime's quite a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
the interesting thing, I always say my job is like farming because when we take these follicles from the back and put them wherever you need them, they
Mm-hmm.
actually don't grow immediately. It's like planting seeds. And
Uh-huh.
Okay.
then about 4 months after the op, it starts to grow, and it takes a full 12 months for everything to
Oh,
come out.
Oh, wow.
But then that hair is then there for good.
all right. Wow. That's
And so the hair grows, and then do they cut it? Do they have to end up
It,
cutting their hair and
yeah,
styling it?
it's like it grows like a normal hair. You can't tell that this is a transplant and this isn't. So you can cut it, shave it. It's just a normal hair after that.
Oh my,
oh
this is
wow.
great to talk about.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean, I
is.
don't need it, but I'm just saying for people who need that process. That's interesting.
Yeah. Dr. Cathy, I've even seen this was the craziest thing I've seen before, but my friend showed it to me recently in Los Angeles. But it's they have I don't know if it's the people's actual hair, but now they have that they're actually bald, but they put this thing on that looks so natural, and I guess it's glued on or something. That it is
Yeah,
such
It's like
a
a wig.
was
It's
that?
like a wig.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
like a
looks
It's
lace
like a
front.
amazing.
toupee. It's a toupee that they're putting on their hair.
But it looks so
They're
natural, like
so real. Yeah.
when the person told it all, I couldn't believe. We were in shock. We watched that at a dinner table, and my friend was like, "Hey, this is my friend here," and he literally did a commercial where I guess some company in LA is doing where he took off
Yeah.
the thing and then he put it on. I mean, I'm still blown away by it.
They have the most amazing hair pieces these days.
Yeah.
So at least there are options for everybody because not everybody can have a hair transplant.
Ooh.
Um, and some people just don't have enough hair left to take.
Hmm.
But I think the nicest thing about a hair transplant is it's your own hair.
Yeah.
Whereas hairpiece can look really amazing, but some people do still have the insecurity of, it's going to come off or sometime. Oh, I have to tell you a crazy story, and it's
Yes,
actually on the
please do.
show. So you can actually take hair from anywhere and put it anywhere,
Okay.
except on your palms of your hands and soles of your feet. And then another thing that people always ask me is, can you take it from one person and put it in another? And you can't. So anyway, I had this guy come in and see me, and his name was Derek. He doesn't mind being chatted about because he's on the show.
Okay.
And Derek was about 60, and he said to me, all he's ever wanted is a hairy chest.
Okay.
And can I help him? So I said, Derek, I really want you to go away and think about this because, to be honest, most people are removing their hair,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have to use the waste a bit of the hair on your head. You might need it one day. So anyway, he went away and he thought about it, and he came back with his wife, and she said, please, he grew up in the time of Magnum PI, and all he's ever wanted is a hairy chest. So I said, okay, Derek, leave it to me. So anyway, he agreed to go into the show, and we gave him this big hairy chest. And when he came for his after photos, because it takes a full year to grow, he
Mhm.
came with this button-down shirt and a big gold chain and his hairy chest, and he was so happy. Different strokes for different folks. We can't
That is
judge.
Absolutely.
so.
Absolutely.
That
It
is so.
sounds like he was inspired by. So, if Magnum PI is correct, that was Tom Selleck, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
I worked with Tom. I worked with Tom Selleck on Blue Bloods in New York City.
Wow.
I have a picture with him on my profile. I love Tom. So Tom's the man, right?
Tom's the man.
Yeah, and
And
he
he's
had that hairy
inspiring
chest.
people.
Seriously, not alone that mustache, and he still has it. He still has that
Wow.
mustache. So that's absolutely amazing. Another question for you. What is one innovation in regenerative medicine that excites you the most for the next decade?
So for me, it's cellular medicine. And what I mean by that is stem cells.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
mhm.
So stem cells are cells in our body. We all have cells that flow around all day, every day, and we have some that are stem cells. And a stem cell can replace itself, but it can also become another type of a cell. So
okay.
that's why we love them, and we can use them to heal all sorts of things. And it's quite new. So the studies are still being developed, but it's definitely starting to be used a lot in practice for anything from healing joints to healing neurological conditions to obviously
Mhm.
skin and hair. So I find it very, very exciting. And you can use your own stem cells and they take it from your fat or your bone marrow and
Okay.
actually make it up. But the one thing about your own stem cells is they're then your age. So although they're still good and help a lot, they're still
Ooh.
your age. Or you can use what's known as umbilical stem cells
Mhm.
when a lady gives birth and they give permission to use it sounds terrible, but the umbilical cord or the
Mhm.
placenta.
Mhm.
So those are baby cells and they get the little messages and make stem cells from the freshest, most amazing cells you can have. So for me, this is really going to be the future. And I think I'm hoping we rely a lot less on medicine and just waiting to get sick and taking drugs and
Mhm.
start trying to repair and prevent things. There are a
Yeah.
lot of dodgy stem cell centers as well.
Oh
You know, you
wow.
have to stick with the science and go to someone who's credible, medical, um, and who's scientific. For me, that really just blows my mind. This whole new world of stem cells.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you a question, and with this, because we have so many young doctors listening, and what advice would you give them about building a purpose-driven medical center? And my sister is a physician, I'm a scientist, but with that, I just wanted to see what advice you would give these young doctors.
So I hope I'm in the position to advise them, but I really think that we go back to the
Mhm.
Hippocratic Oath, which is first do no harm. So
Correct.
whatever you're doing, however interesting it is, um, I think you've really always got to, if you stick to that and have that in mind,
Hmm.
when you're evaluating your policies, then you're always going to have, the patient at heart. The second thing is science-based medicine. So there are so many of these new exciting things. I'm sure if you're on social media, you'll see peptides, stem cells, and there's just this overwhelming amount of information. And some
Hmm.
of them are amazing, some of them are groundbreaking. But as doctors, we need to be grounded in science. So I
Hmm.
often have this patient coming in and say, "Oh, I saw this bodybuilder on TikTok and he said I must use 5 units of this and 5 units of that." I'm like, "Whoa, that hasn't even got out of clinical trials yet.
Yeah.
Where are you getting this? I mean, if you get something from the pharmacy, it's guaranteed it's been in a cold chain and they've studied,
Hmm.
they know what's in it. So I think we have to just be educators as well.
Hmm.
So I love that those words you used, a purpose-driven practice. So I think it's
Hmm.
finding the needs of your community and your patient base, but
Hmm.
also not giving in to trends and sort of patient demands.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Okay,
And
that's
I'm so
great.
glad that you said that too. I can't tell you how many times I've seen, as a person who's worked out from 17 when my brother started, or 16 when my brother first started taking me to work out, to now. I know how long it takes for the body to get a certain kind of weight. And I see all the time, like what you said, where you see people online that are giving information, which I hate. I'm just going to say it myself. I see people giving false information, especially in like the workout realm, which I'm like, hey, I know that right there that you're doing, that is not possible what you're doing. That's not natural. I know it's not. and you're out here telling people that you're doing this or you're doing that. That's such a wrong thing to do and such a disservice, and that's upsetting. And hopefully they can kind of regulate that more. But people should go probably with their doctor or with someone that actually is reputable or has the Hippocratic oath, as you said, to give right advice, not this wrong advice that so many people do that I see out there.
Yeah, I'm so glad that because you've got, that experience and you know how much time it takes to get things right. I think if you're impatient, or if, I see, because my son he's actually turning 20 tomorrow. He's my
Whoa!
almost
Congrats! Happy
Valentine's
birthday to
baby.
him.
Thank you. So, sometimes his friends, he'll say, "Oh, my friends are asking me about peptides." I'm like, "Boy, you guys are 20.
Yeah.
Make use of your youth and your natural growth hormone and build up your muscle memory. If you start messing with that now,
Yeah.
um, you really, they don't think about when they're going to be 40. But so I think you see it especially in the training world a lot.
Mhm.
And where we also saw it was in this whole world of Ozempic and Mounjaro.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I don't know what it's like in the US, but I think it's the same. So I have friends who say, "Oh, no, they bought it out. A mom at the school was selling it. She
What?
had it, yeah, yeah, yeah. She had it in her car boots. It was really good price.
What?
She got three. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like you're going to inject that into your body? It
Yeah.
could have been sitting at high temperatures. We don't know what's in that. It could be a fake box that they got. So um, common sense is not always there.
Like, there's common sense isn't always common.
No, exactly.
And then, Dr. Catherine, you said the thing about peptides with your son, and it's interesting you mentioned that. I never really heard about peptides until the last year, and one of my friends who is a pharmacist, who is I'm not going to give away his age, but he's older. But he looks so young, and I'm like, man, dude, how the heck are you? First, I had to ask him what his age because I actually didn't know, and I was like, he's older than my brother is. And I'm like, man, I'm like, how do you stay looking so young? He's like, Brandon, peptides.
Yeah, so peptides I really think are also a wave of the longevity future.
Yeah.
And there's some really good peptides. The thing about peptides is the source and the wrong information we're getting. So the
Hmm.
only legal and sort of tried and trusted way to get peptides in the US is if they're either registered and sold as a pharmaceutical,
Hmm.
or if a registered compounding pharmaceutical company makes them,
Yeah.
which is usually sold by a is scripted. So if you're getting anything online or it says for research purposes only, those are the ones I sort of stay away from.
Yeah.
But I love the whole scientific world of peptides. That they just what a peptide is. It's just a very short little protein chain. So it's a couple of amino acids, and it just directs your body to do certain things. So there's one that helps you to grow muscle, better
Hmm.
skin. Um, they're all these little tricks. Some of the downsides about peptides is obviously the source, and you do have to inject them. So most people are injecting every day, so it's quite a commitment.
Yeah.
Um, but I like them for targeted things, or if you need a tool to develop, like if someone has no muscle and they really struggling to gain muscle, you can put them on a certain peptide for a little while,
Hmm.
until they get the muscle memory like you have from your years and years of training.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So for an older person, that would be a great thing.
Yes, very, especially somebody who isn't sleeping well, who needs to gain muscle. There are some lovely peptides for that.
Oh, okay, great.
And before I get to the lightning round, and this is just a random question that came to my mind. So I know people that used to stay in the sun a lot, or I want to say that we're the same age, right? That used to be in the sun a lot, and they look about 10, 15 years older than I do. And then I stay away from the sun like it's my business. I wear hats. So I guess my in-between question is it true about can staying in the sun age you? And then on the second part of that question is how much vitamin D from the sun should you get each day?
So, staying in the sun can most definitely aid you. There's a famous photograph where you see a truck driver who's driven trucks his whole life, and the
Mhm.
side of his face where the window is, it must be about 30 years older than the side
Oh,
that hadn't got the sun. So,
Oh
if that
wow.
doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will. So, you're really doing the right thing. And they do say that to create vitamin D, you need about 20 minutes of exposure a day
Okay.
on a certain body part. But to sit and roast your skin in the sun is really bad. And the worst, worst, worst is a sunbed.
Oh my
they've
God. Sorry,
yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I know girls that have gone to those sunbeds all the time. I'm like,
Ooh. You no, no, no. That's really that they should be banned. They're banned in
yeah,
most places,
holy
but
smoke.
they've proven completely cancerous changes. And there is a worldwide increase of melanoma.
Uh-huh.
We don't know if it's because being picked up more because we've got better screening and ways of picking it up, or if the incidence is increasing. But it's a terrible skin cancer to get, can be deadly.
Mm.
So you're really doing the right thing.
Okay, I absolutely will. And you said they're banned those tanning beds are banned in South Africa?
In certain states as well, in the US, I still see them, but they're supposed to be banned, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you I'm sorry that question came up, but I'm glad it was important that you mentioned it. I know some of our listeners are going to hear that and be like, oh gosh, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Cathy, first off, you've been absolutely amazing. I'm about to go into lightning round, which are just quick questions that you can answer however you choose.
Okay.
So in the morning, coffee or green juice or tea?
Is this me or what you should have?
No, you personally.
Yeah, okay,
Me.
this lightning round, we're going to just ask you quick questions and just give us a straight answer or whatever comes to mind quickly.
Okay. Big cup of coffee
Okay,
Okay.
nice. Morning routine that you must have.
is to get early morning sunlight. So
Oh,
get up, open your eyes, get outside. Don't go straight on your phone. You don't want that blue light. Early morning sunlight
Oh, good, good. I remember. Most underrated longevity habit.
is gathering with your friends and having fun often.
You got a good soul, Dr. Catherine. I can tell you got a good soul. Uh, PRF or traditional fillers?
PRF all the way.
Okay. One supplement you never skip.
Okay, it's got a very weird name. Don't judge. It's called spermidine. It's not made from sperm, it's made from wheat germ, actually.
okay.
And it's one of the longevity supplements. So it's basically either just taking your wheat germ, eating lots of greens, which I'm not so good at, so spermidine.
Okay, spermidine. That's not the same thing as spirulina, is it?
It's not, but it's very similar.
Okay,
Similar.
perfect, perfect. Best advice you've ever received.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
I love that one.
Favorite city to lecture in? Florida or California? Have you
Miami.
ever? Where's that?
Miami.
Miami. Okay.
Sorry, LA.
No, you're good. You're good. A book that changed your life.
Um, oh, there's so many. I think the oh, The Secret.
That is a good one. That is a good one. One word that defines your mission.
Self-esteem
Okay. Fill in the blank. The future of medicine is
is preventative.
okay. And then my final question is: if you could tell your 18-year-old self anything, if you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self anything, what would it be? That could be however long.
We did okay. Like just
Oh,
everything's going to be okay. Just take a deep breath, and we did okay.
All right.
hello.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. Dr. Catherine, thank you so much for coming on our show today. You've been a blessing to us. We'd always love to have you back. I also need to, my mom's going to say some stuff too, but we also need to know where people can find you if anybody wants to reach out to you or if there's a page you want them to see, if there's anything that you want to mention here, feel free to.
Oh, thanks. So the best for me is at Dr. Cathy SA, my Instagram. That's where most
Okay.
people ask me things, reach out. Thank you for that.
Absolutely no problem.
Well, Dr. Cathy, I must say I've called on a lot of physicians in my professional life. I tell people I've called on probably 1,000 physicians because I sold medicines. I want to tell you, your personality is just wonderful. So you're so down to earth. We have. I used to always say to myself, the doctors that I could bring out the best in those doctors that really could relate to being more down to earth. And you are one of those doctors. I have some doctors now that we are just pals. We became, not only did I sell them medicines at one point, but they have become friends of mine for life. They give me advice. I give them advice. I think you would have been one of those doctors that I really would have become a great friend. I no longer sell medicines with, and I can see why your patients probably love you.
Yeah.
I can see why you now have a show and why people are so interested in what you have to say. And thank you so much for sharing that with our 18.8 million viewers out there listening and watching. And so thank you so much for your expertise.
Oh, Mama Rush, Brandon, I don't want to ugly cry.
Oh,
So
you're good.
I'm just gonna say thank you for finding me and just letting me have my day. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I always say, God, please send me the right people. And you're one of those people that we've been blessed to have on today. So, Dr. Catherine, I want to say thank you so much. Happy birthday to your son. Many blessings to you and your family.
Thank you.
And you're always welcome back on the show. If there's something that comes up, you're like, hey, Brandon, can I talk about this? Just send me a message. I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Well,
Thank you so
better
much.
do what we normally do. Let's
Yeah, we
go.
give everyone a handle. All right.
Yay for you guys.
Kathy.
Absolutely. Dr. Catherine,
Woo.
just send me the picture you want, and I'll have this done in a few hours.
Thank you.
All right. You
Okay.
have a
Bye,
wonderful
guys.
day. Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Continue to be as beautiful as you are.
Thanks, Mama.
Okay.
Absolutely. You're
Bye-bye.
amazing.